Paris, 1784. Outside, rich men in expensive clothes were laughing and drinking wine. The streets smelled of a fresh bread. It was one of the most beautiful cities in the world. But inside one hot kitchen, there was smoke, there was a fire, and there was a young black man standing over a burning stove, sweat on his face, hands moving fast. To the world, he was nothing. He was a slave. He had no rights. He had no future. He did not even own his own body. But this man had something the world could not see, something no one could take from him, something no chain could hold. He had a gift, and that gift, born in a kitchen, built through hard work and tested by fire, would one day shock the most powerful man in America, force him to break his own rules, and buy this man his freedom. This is the true story of James Hemings, a man who refused to stay a slave. James Hemings was born in 1765 in Virginia, America, into a world that had already decided his value. He was a slave, and in those days, being a slave meant your life was not yours. Your body was not yours. Your children were not yours. You woke up every morning to work for someone else, for no money, no choice, and no hope. Most people in his situation gave up, and nobody could blame them. But James was different. While other slaves worked outside under the hot sun, James spent his time in the kitchen. He loved watching simple things, flour, butter, fire, come together and turn into something beautiful, something that made people smile. Food was magic, and James wanted to learn that magic. Then one day, everything changed. His master was Thomas Jefferson. This was the same man who had written the famous words, "All men are created equal." The same man who taught about freedom and rights. The same man who owned over 600 slaves. Jefferson had to go to Paris for important government work, and he decided to take 19 years old James with him. When James arrived in Paris and stepped onto French streets, something inside him changed. Because in France, slavery was not allowed. For the first time in his life, nobody looked at James like he was property. People spoke to him normally, called him by his name. On the streets, he was not a slave, he was just a man. Think about that for a moment. After 19 years of being treated like an object, suddenly people saw him as a human being. Can you imagine what that felt like? Jefferson sent James to learn from the best chefs in Paris. These were the top cooks in the world, people who cooked for kings and queens. It was not easy at all. The language was different. James did not speak French. The cooking methods were very hard. The chefs were strict. They expected perfect work every time, and James was new, a young black man from America, surrounded by proud French chefs who did not believe in him. But James did not come to Paris to fail. He stayed in the kitchen long after everyone else went home. He practiced the same dish again and again and again until it was perfect. He learned French. He asked questions. He watched carefully. he worked harder than anyone. Slowly, the chefs who once doubted him started to respect him, and then they started to learn from him. James Hemings became America's very first professionally trained master chef. His food was so good that rich and powerful people from all over Europe wanted to eat what he cooked. He learned dishes that had never been seen in America before: macaroni and cheese, ice cream, many French desserts, and meals that he would later bring back to America. He was not just cooking food, he was changing food history forever. And through all of this, he was still legally a slave. After 5 years in Paris, Jefferson had to go back to America. James knew exactly what that meant. The moment he stepped back on American ground, the law would see him as property again. All the skills he had learned, all the respect he had earned, all the freedom he had felt in Paris, none of it would matter under American law. Then, night before the return, what do you think went through his mind? Did he think about staying in Paris, where he was free? Did he think about running anyway? We do not know for sure, but he knew what he decided. He decided to go back, and he decided to fight, not with a sword, not with a gun, but with the only weapon he had: his skill. Back in America, James Hemings walked into a room and stood in front of Thomas Jefferson. Think about how much courage that took. One wrong word from a slave, and he could be punished. He could be sold. He could lose everything. But James stood straight. He did not look down. He did not bow his head. He looked Thomas Jefferson, the future president of the United States, directly in the eyes. And he said something that no slave was supposed to say. I will teach everything I learned in Paris. I will train the next chef completely. I will share every recipe, every skill, every secret. But when I finish, you will give me my freedom papers. Jefferson went quiet. He knew the truth. James was the best chef in the country. Nobody could replace him. His skills had taken years to build. Everyone knew how good he was. Jefferson had no real choice. He agreed. James spent the next months teaching the new chef everything patiently, holding nothing back. He gave away all the knowledge he had spent years earning. And then in 1796, Thomas Jefferson signed the Freedom Papers. James Hemings, once a slave, once property, once a man with no rights, walked out that door a free man. He had cooked his way to freedom. But freedom, as James found out, was not simple. The world outside was still not ready for a free black man, even a brilliant one. He found it hard to find good work. People paid him for less than he deserved. The world had been built on a slavery for so long. It did not easily make space for those it had once kept down. James Hemings died in 1801. He was only 30 years old. Too young, too soon. For almost 200 years, history forgot his name. The foods he created: macaroni and cheese, ice cream at the White House, French deserts that amazed Jefferson's guests. People remembered the food, but they forgot the man who made it. Until now. James Hemings teaches us something important. The word can take many things from you: your freedom, your rights, your name, your home, but it cannot take what you have built inside yourself. It cannot take your skill. It cannot take what you have learned through years of hard work and refusal to give up. James did not wait for something to save him. He built something so valuable, so needed, that even the most powerful man in the country could not afford to lose it. He was not born in a palace. He stood over a burning stove in a hot kitchen with no guarantee of tomorrow. And every single day, he chose to be extraordinary. Legends are not born in palaces. They are made in ordinary moments by ordinary people who choose to be extraordinary. If James Hemings' story moved you, please like this video. It helps more people find stories like this. Subscribe to Ordinary Legends because history is full of people the world forgot. We are here to remember them. See you in the next story.